Hey friends, it's Mads and welcome back to Gray and Crochet. It's time to review my crochet month of July, which unfortunately wasn't that big of a month. One of my smallest months of the year, I am sad to say. But the reason for that is I have been running around like a headless chicken trying to get wedding planning done. If you've been here for a while, you may know that my wedding is coming up at the start of November, so I don't have very much time left and sort of was a procrastinator for most of the year and decided to just leave all of my wedding planning stuff to the last minute, and the month of July was just me catching up and ticking things off my list. So pretty much all of my days in July I was just doing wedding things and crocheting when I can. So I did manage to get 3 projects done. It's definitely not as much as I wanted to, but at least now that I have majority of my wedding things done, I'm hoping that the rest of the year I can crochet a little bit more in and around my holidays. Of course, I do have a couple of those coming up, but yeah, I'm excited to show you what I've got. 2 of the projects were from our Monsters Cal, which if you're new here, come check it out. It's so much fun. I will link the playlist at the end of this video, but we are crocheting our way through the Amigurumi Monsters book, which is so much fun. There are 15 monsters in it, varying sizes. Some are small, some are big, like I will show you in a second. And we, at the time of this video coming out, have 6 monsters left. So we're just a little bit over halfway through the Cal, but it's not too late to join. It's heaps of fun and the monsters turn out so incredibly cute. So the first monster that I did in July, which was our project number 8, was Myrtle from the duo Monty and Myrtle. So the book had very similar patterns for both of them, so Monty and Myrtle. The primary difference being that Monty had spikes on his back and Myrtle had this sort of mohawk, and I think the eyelids were slightly different as well. When I saw this project, just instantly knew that I wanted to use this fuzzy pink yarn for the mohawk, so I decided to make Myrtle. I got this yarn at the thrift store. It was like $1 a skein, and it's sort of like eyelash yarn, so novelty yarn. And I did use it to make another monster from this particular book called BB, and I absolutely loved how that yarn worked out, and I was really eager to use it again. So I decided to basically use it as the mohawk, and that was my starting point for this project. From there, I was thinking of what colors I could pair with it, maybe black, maybe white. I did like white the best. I thought it would make it look a little bit like a snow monster with like a hot pink mohawk. So I decided to go with white and didn't really regret my choice until I got to the eyes. Eyes are predominantly white, like eyeballs, and for some reason that slipped my mind until I got to the eyeballs, which was at the very end of me making this project. And so it got me scratching my head as to what yarn I need to use to actually make the eyeballs. I just went with pink. It's a pink and white monster. It looks a little bit weird, but monsters have no rules, so it is what it is. So pretty much the pink yarn was from a thrift store. I don't know if you can find it anywhere else. I was just able to find it on eBay, so I'm not really sure if it's sold in other stores in Australia. But the pink yarn is from our local Spotlight store. It is called Marvel Acrylic Yarn. It is 8-ply or DK weight. And the white is just Millens, again from Spotlight. It's just DK weight, big ball of white yarn. Amazing, white is always useful. So this was predominantly mystery yarn or Milan, so with a little bit of branded yarn thrown in, but turned out absolutely adorable. And that was our first monster make for the month of July. Our last monster make for the month of July was this big boy called Yum Yum. He was project number 9 and turned out absolutely humongous. He's bigger than my face, about 200 grams of yarn in this guy. I did just use mill ends to make him. If you've been around for a few of these episodes, you may know that I headed into a Spotlight not long ago because they gave us a $10 voucher, and on sale we are able to get bags of millens, which are 400 gram bags of yarn for $10. So I pretty much got that bag of yarn for free with my Monsters Cal in mind. I just knew green would be a useful color for our monsters, and I did not actually have that much green in my inventory. So that is predominantly what I used for him. I finished up 2 skeins from that bag, so that eats into my yarn stash, which is great. Even though I acquired it this year, I'm still eating into it, which is the goal anyway. We want to eat as much as we can into my yarn stash. But yeah, that is pretty much the main yarn I used for this guy. White was also Milan's, and then I'm pretty sure the black was the marble acrylic yarn. Red was Simcoe Stallion yarn, also from Spotlight, just said like cheaper, you know, base level DK yarn, super affordable. But yeah, that is it. He is humongous and so cute, but for comparison, size difference, they are so different in size. This one is teeny tiny compared to Mr. Yum Yum, who is ginormous, but they're both incredibly cute nonetheless. So that is my 2 amigurumi projects that I ended up making in the month of July. And apart from that, I just made one other project, which was a snood. So if you are newer here, you may not know that I crochet for greyhounds as well. So I make they're kind of like ear neck warmers, but they're also kind of like costumes. They're very, very cute. And they just go over the head of your dog. And I ended up making a bee snood, which I will pop a picture up here for you. It looks so incredibly cute. Sox was a bit annoyed that I woke him up from his nap to model that, but he loved it, I'm sure. Kept his little ears warm. But I did end up making one of those, and I am keen to make more over the coming months. I do want to send Gumtree Grays a whole bunch of these before Halloween. All of these snoods that I make, I donate them. So yeah, very, very exciting times ahead. I've got heaps of great ideas from you guys. If you want to see some of the other makes that I made, check out this video up here, and you can leave me any recommendations you think might look cute. And as long as I can figure out how to actually make it happen, I will implement the idea, assuming I have like the time to implement all of them. Time is quickly running out without me realizing. But yes, that is all of the projects I made for the month of July. So 3 lonely projects, 3 skeins of yarn used, 2 of them from my personal stash, which I used for Yum Yum. And then I also finished off 1 skein of my donated yarn pile for the bee snood. So 3 skeins in total, and that in grams was about 342 grams, which is actually the second lowest of this year. April was just under 300, it was about 276, and so this is just a step up from the month of April. Shocking that I did not get as much done in the month of April, but fingers crossed that I can crochet more going forward. Don't hold me to that. I clearly did not estimate how much time wedding planning would take, just in general, and how much needed to be done. But oh well, hopefully August is a more productive month. I do have a holiday planned at the end of August. I feel like I'm always doing something or the other that distracts me from crocheting. So I don't know if I will get much crocheting done on that trip, but my intention is to take some yarn and a hook and make some snoods. So hopefully I get to stick to that. If not, I'll just be having heaps of fun, and it's not the end of the world. So yeah, exciting, but fingers crossed I can get more than 3 projects done in August. Stay tuned. My brain is just mixed up with all the months now. But that is it for this little video. Thank you so much for watching. And like I mentioned before, if you're interested in the Monsters Cal, please check out the playlist up here. Otherwise, YouTube thinks that you might like this video down here. I will see you there. Bye.